Hello and welcome back to our RedRun challenge in Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate, where today we are taking on a sea dais, and where I'm using the laggy weapon because after doing some math, I realized that it should be a little better than our Giginox weapon against sea dais. Because it's got 10 less true raw, but it's got 15 true lightning, and since lightning... The lightning value isn't affected by our weapon's motion values. It's only going to be lowered once by the sea dais's defenses. Whereas, like, our true raw, that 10 true raw, for most of our attacks is going to be actually somewhere around 2 true raw, which will then be lowered even still by the sea dais's defenses. So we're looking at, for most of the time, that's accounting for 1 damage. Whereas this lightning, on most of our swings against sea dais, like, it'll be worth about 2 points of lightning damage. And hey, 2 is more than 1. So yeah. It's not a huge change, but it's slightly better, and we might need that slightly better. Because we need to drive off the sea dais. Unfortunately, we can't bring it down. And I'm actually considering bending the rules a little and going back to fight the sea dais again at some other point, because we don't kill it this time, and the whole spirit of the rule is that, oh, you can't repeat quests, because if you've already killed a monster, then it's already dead and you're breaking time. But in this case, we're just killing it because we didn't last time. But I'll decide whether or not to do that at another time. Because first we need to actually repel the thing. So let's get in there. And I hope you folks are ready for a whole lot of not much. Because unfortunately, regular sea dais, the first time you fight it, is not the most interesting. Which is a darn shame, because the monster is gorgeous and its theme is amazing. Like, I particularly like the Phase 1 theme for sea dais, which we're actually hearing some of right now. Like, Phase 2 is nice, because it gets the really just heart-pounding percussion and the vocals added. But in Phase 1, it's just... it really just gets me. Sends shivers down my spine. Alright, let's do this. Got 35 minutes to spook this giant thing. Also, while sea dais may not be the most interesting fight, at least during its first phase, I argue that it is still superior to Lao in the older games. Mainly because... A, it actually does things to try and attack you, on occasion. And B, if you shave its beard, it'll actually speed up Phase 1. It'll hurry on to Phase 2 as quickly as it possibly can once its beard is broken. So, as much as it pains me to shave someone else's beard, it's what we're doing. But yeah, there you go. Sea dais actually doing more than Lao to prove that it's kind of annoyed by what we're doing. Because Lao just keeps walking and keeps walking. But sea dais at least shows the smallest amount of displeasure. But yeah, I hope you really enjoy getting a look at this beard here, because that's what we're going to be seeing for a while. Also, I brought an air filter that I should use. There we go. Now we've got more max oxygen, so we'll not have to care about oxygen even more than we already don't really care about oxygen. Because I brought an oxygen supply of my own. They gave us too many oxygen supplies. There's going to be bubbles to breathe from. And whenever Kayamba's around, we can use him to get some of that delicious, delicious oxygen. And I know my health is getting a little low, but we don't really have too much to worry about in this phase. Though I do have to worry about sharpening, because yellow sharp still sucks. And let's go ahead and drink this while we're at it. Unfortunately, I don't really have reach. Need to be basically inside the beard in order to work at shaving it. But hey, at least now I'm working on it from the other side, so you get a slightly different view of things. Okay, let's get out of the way of this. We want no part of it. Oh, I thought it was gonna, like, laser. But I guess not. Now, if I was using a weapon from high rank, what I would be doing instead of trying to shave the beard is trying to get the tail. Just because getting more breaks earlier on in this fight can be useful. And, like, yeah, it doesn't fight back during this phase, so the more breaks you get, the better. But as soon as you shave the beard, it will hurry on to the next phase. Whereas sometimes you can get another break or two and then shave the beard before the Cetus actually moves on. Also, he seems to be having a little trouble with this wall. Or did he get through? I don't really know. All I know is I need more hits on this beard. And that's a beard flinch. Always a good sign to get those. Yeah, if I get the beard shaved before we get to phase 2, then we'll have a pretty good idea that I'll be doing enough damage to actually drive this thing off. I don't expect I'm going to fail this quest, but you can never know for sure. Unfortunately, I'm probably going to use quite a few whetstones. This weapon does have slightly less green sharp than our Kikinox one does. Accounts for, I think, like 10 hits worth of green. Because it looks like it's maybe just one little extra tick of green sharp, and one tick is worth 10 hits in most cases. Congrats on breaking through the wall, buddy. You did it. But yeah, we just want to not get hit by the laser. That's our main thing that we need to care about defensively here. Also, I need to try and not get hit by the fins here, because sometimes if you get hit by one, it'll send you further back, and it'll happen to send you to right where the fin's going to hit you again as soon as you're hittable again, and that's just generally unpleasant, taking multiple hits. So, unfortunately, Phase 1 does go multiple areas. It's not just Area 1 here is Phase 1. As nice as that would be. But then again, that just means we've got more time to cut away at the beard without the Cetus really fighting back. And then once we get into Phase 2, we can use our fun supplies to try and cut the horn, mostly. Because if you bust the bigger horn, it comes off and is carvable. Alright. Sometimes also the fins pass you to the tail. Did I already use all the... Yeah, I guess I already used all the first aid meds. That's fine. We can use a couple herbs here. Yeah, but how about some air? Where even are you? There you are. Thanks, buddy. Oh, should have come in here a little sooner. Yes, hello to you too. Kind of odd that it turned around to face and then attack us as soon as we entered the area. But then again, that's fine. Whatever keeps this from just being swing sword at beard until beard go away. I remember back in Monster Hunter Tri, my armor set was a Cedeus and Devil Joe mix. I mean, most people did that, because it gave Sharp +1 and high-grade earplugs, which was a pretty nice combination. I mean, you couldn't really get much better back then. There were only 18 monsters in the game. Yeah, because of that armor set, I did end up having to fight Cedeus quite a bit. Though I guess having to fight Cedeus quite a bit isn't something that people are unfamiliar with, because the most popular by far starting G-rank armor set in 3U was a Goldbeard and regular Cedeus mix. That I believe actually gave those same two skills, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah. Cedeus is one of those monsters that a lot of people have fought far more than they want to, because, simply put, Cedeus's gear tends to be pretty good. And it's not really a hard fight, it's just uneventful. Goldbeard does fix that somewhat by not having this first phase. But Goldbeard also has the whole not being able to be driven away thing going for it, or perhaps against it, depending how you look at things. And also, like, it hits harder and does meaner things, and this is gonna... Yep. I made the wrong choice there. So let's go ahead and nullberry this. Didn't really need to. We don't really use stamina that much. I don't know why I'm even rationing. Especially because I needed to heal. I should have used my curatives before using a ration, because we might have gotten the stamina we needed. So the one part the part I most dislike about water combat in this game is actually something we just saw, when monsters are so high above you that you have to put the camera vertical. Because then if you do any like sideways camera movement, it actually just rotates the camera, and it's a little disorienting and just doesn't feel good to look at. Anyway, we're going to be getting out of phase 1 before too long here. Which actually has me a little concerned, because this beard is still very beardly. Like, I don't mind also getting some damage on the hood, but it's the beard that we need. Like, if I can't get the beard shaven before phase 2, I'll be somewhat worried. Like, having the options that we'll have access to in phase 2, the Dragonator and the Underwater Ballista, will definitely help our damage output. But, like, I actually know for a fact it can make up for a poor showing in phase 1. But if you're making a poor showing in phase 1, then chances are when you run out of those tricks, your showing in phase 2 won't really be that great either. So basically, if you have a poor showing in phase 1, you need those tricks to make up for both phase 1 and phase 2. And I don't know whether or not they can do that, depending on just how poorly we're doing. Because, like, I have had phase 1s where I didn't break the beard and still managed to bring down Cedeus. Or at least drive it away in this case. And, so I know it can be done. I just don't really have my metric for judging how well I'm doing if we don't break the beard. And having just that little confidence booster, like, hey, the beard is broken, that can do a lot for you. Little air Kayamba. Way to get slapped on your way to me. Try again, buddy. There he is. Over here, buddy. Are you for reals right now? Well, that's what mini oxygen supplies are for. I know there were bubbles at the bottom, but we've got a Cedeus to be working on. Can't really afford to go to the bottom during this phase. There we go. That wasn't even my hit that did it. So, that is a nice morale booster. So yeah, now you'll note that he's swimming significantly faster. Faster than we can. And he's going to go ahead and bust down those rocks, and as soon as he goes through them, we should be pretty well into, or pretty much into phase 2. Unfortunately, it will take him a couple attempts, but we can just use that time to get a couple hits, though we do have to be a little careful about it, otherwise we'll get hit. And that just wouldn't be good for us now, would it? So we didn't shave the beard until the very end of phase 1, but we did do it in phase 1. And that's good. So Cetus is going to be showing up, and apparently he's already here because they didn't plan for you to get in here before he did, I guess? Okay. But I'm not gonna lose. Okay. Sure. Alright, so yeah, we are gonna be going for the horn. But first, I need to remember just where the ballistas are. I'm pretty sure they're both up. I think there's only the 2. Maybe there's a 3rd. I don't really remember that well. It's been a long time since I've fought a Cetus out of choice. Pretty sure the last time I did was before 4U. Hello. How's it going? You doing all right? So yeah, we're going to be using the Ballista and the Dragonator as much as we can, simply because they ignore the monster's defenses and therefore are going to do more damage than us swinging our sword. Though admittedly, the time lost going between them could potentially account for more damage lost than, say, if we had just used our weapon. Also, we need to make sure that we get hits. Otherwise, it's moot. Cha-Cha, could you get out of the way? Thanks. Cetus does roar, that's right. Okay, so now that we've shot all 10 of those, it's time to gather more. We should be able to gather like 20 or 30 more, I think. Because I'm pretty sure there are 3 ammo piles to gather from. And I'll just be here gathering from them until the Cetus gives me a reason to not. Okay, they don't give us 10 each. Oh, it looks like he's possibly in his I want to be Dragonated mode. In which case, I will ready the Dragonator. Because yeah, if he swims way over there, then it usually means he's going to turn over here, swim down to under the Dragonator, and then swim directly up in front of it. For no real reason. Like, if there's nobody over there and he just swims leisurely on his way over there, then yeah, it means that it's Dragonator time. Like, CDS has no reason to do this. He'd still be swimming up like this even if we weren't up here. And there goes the horn. Another downside with swimming in this game. When you don't have camera control, you can't ascend or descend. So let's go ahead and carve this. Always a bit of a shame to get a Cedeus hide from a horn. Crooked horn is significantly better. So that attack right there, I don't recall whether it does in this game or not, but in Monster Hunter Tri, it caused Dragon Blight. And unfortunately, we can't hit Cedeus with this ballista from this angle. Though we no longer have to really care where we hit the Cedeus. Like, of course it's better to hit him in the tail or the hood because those are the parts that we haven't broken yet. But honestly, as long as we hit instead of missing, I don't mind. Are we out of shots? I think we're out of shots. No, we've still got one more. Tail. Aw, dang. Where you going, buddy? So he's probably going to do that rushing attack. Yeah, the way he's swimming around like this does mean that he's going to curl up at the end and do his rush towards us. It'll hurt, but I honestly don't care that much because apparently it's going to slide off the geometry of the area and not hit anyway. If memory serves, Cedeus does its whole I want to be dragonated thing when it leaves rage. Though I could be wrong. So, with him showing us his hood, we actually need to attempt to get hits on that, considering the tail is almost always more easy to sight in and hit. Because when he does things like this, the tail is right there, and the hood is out of reach. Oop, missed again. But it's fine if we miss every once in a while. As long as we don't make a habit of it. And now we gotta go find us some more ammo, if there even is more ammo to be found. There's 2 more junk piles, but I think one of them is like air filters rather than, or rather oxygen supplies rather than ballista ammo. Maybe even both of them. But we'll just see what's available. Okay, yeah, this is not going to give us any ballista ammo. Maybe the only ballista ammo spots are the ones next to the ballistas. In which case, we're going to have to start actually fighting the Cedeus again. That'll be fine. It's just not quite as convenient. So I think this pile over here is going to be oxygen supplies. If it's ballista ammo, then great. And if not, then we'll just... yeah. Okay, so we got to get the hood and the tail. Unfortunately, neither one is a particularly weak hit zone. But at this point, I'm pretty sure we've done enough damage that the Cedeus will run away rather than fail us the quest. So I'm not super worried about whether or not we're hitting a good hit zone, which would be the beard, and pretty much only the beard. And I'm more worried about trying to get brakes, because brakes turn into parts. It is a shame that it's impossible to kill Cetus in this quest. And that's because of the cutscene that follows it. Oh, hey, we got the tail. I guess our ballista shots were doing work. And hopefully our few hits on the hood were enough to weaken that. Ow. Because that's the only break we've got left is the hood. Unfortunately, just like with ballistas, it's a little tough to get with your weapon. Because if Cetus is trying to face you, well then guess what? It's gonna be not pointed towards you. Because you actually gotta go past his face if you want to hit it. And yeah, if he's trying to face you, then it's not gonna be in reach. It turns out Cetus just doesn't like it when people are trying to be above his head. Wow. Dodged inside the reach of that. Also, if I'm not mistaken, the hood is a slightly pickier hit zone than most that Cetus has. I'm not entirely certain where the hood hit zone ends and the tail hit zone begins. But there's definitely a point where that happens. And if we do bust the hood, then we can just go to attacking the beard some more. Because really, what else would we do? Unfortunately, when fighting Cetus, most of what you're fighting is the camera. It does show how the underwater camera doesn't really interact so well with very large monsters. Oh, I guess we don't get to break the hood. Well, we done spooked him. And now there's nothing for us to really do, because we already carved the horn, and it's not like we can gather anything we can keep. Maybe sometime in the future, if I feel the desire to do so, we'll come back and actually kill this Cetus. Bend the rules a little bit to do so, but it might happen, or it might not. It really just depends on whether I feel like it at any point. It certainly won't be for a while, because doing Cetus, like, even twice within 2 weeks just seems a bit much. Things bigger than Moga Village. And because this cutscene was made for Monster Hunter Tri, Kayamba is nowhere to be seen. And now we get to see Cha-Cha do his little shuffle. Well, that was sudden. Feel like they should have at least let the song end. Because I didn't press anything there. And we didn't get much, but we did get a tail and a luminous organ, which aren't bad. Cedaeus fur would have been the thing to get, though. Because that's what's used in, like, everything that Cedaeus has. Is Cedaeus fur. That's usually the limiting factor. But whatever. And now, like, everyone wants to talk to us and say, hey, you did the thing, have stuff. Even if the stuff is just congratulations. Yeah, sure. Yep. Sure. Huzzah. So yeah, if this was Monster Hunter Tri, that would have been the end of the village experience right then and there. And since Tri's servers are gone, that would have been actually the end of the game. Of course, we would have had fewer different monsters to fight on the way to it. But yeah, thankfully this is 3 Ultimate, so there's a high rank village as well. Yeah. Sure. Yeah, basically. And how about you? Sure. Uh-huh. All right. Oh. Okay. And he didn't get us nothing. How about you? Uh-huh. Sure. All right. Yeah, I guess. And he also got us nothing. Cool. But I already beat Cedaeus. Also, I'm not allowed to use longswords in this run. Sure. I'll go ahead and sell that if ever I need Zenny. Yeah, I've been there. Okay, and you're gonna be all like, hey, congrats, you did the thing. Yeah, I did do that thing. I'm not really invincible so much as just I put my weapon on the monster until it ran away. Like, I didn't really let it hit me very much either. I only took one significant hit. Would have been nice if anyone was like, here, have 1,000,000 points. Resource points. Because then we could have used them. But no. Yeah. And the best congratulations come from Dr. Ham here. Thanks, little buddy. And then I believe, yep. This little guy's got to say, hey, he kept our bed ready and whatnot. Mostly free of bugs. And neither of these folks wants to talk, so finally, let's see what the sweetheart has to say. Sure. I just said, let's see what you have to say. All right, that's not so much a say as a shout. Well, thank you. I did do it, and I did win. I'm pretty sure you don't have to say the fist pump part. But then again, since you're not actually pumping your fist, I guess maybe you do? Is it nothing? I hope it's nothing. Hooray! It's nothing. I do like the Misty Peaks. My favorite map in this game, actually. Yep. They sure do. Like, purple Ludroth is poisonous. So yeah, we actually have to fight the purple Ludroth before we can take on other high-rank quests. So I suppose that means we all know what I'm doing next time, and it's purple Ludroth. But that's next time. So join us then for that. See you then, friends.